the growth rates here are great, and they grow a beautiful oyster, and the flow of the water, and the water's cleaner. I mean, we have millions of oysters in here, 55 gallons a day for each oyster, and they just clean up the bay a little bit. As long as we do our own part, the oysters will do their part always, but it's us that have to do our part, so. But you can see a lot of new construction going up. Everybody wants to have a big McMansion on the water, 22,000 square foot home on the water squeezed between two other homes that are probably another 15,000 square feet, and we don't have a public sewer system. So, that in its own right is humans that are destroying the habitat that they love to live on. It's a house of cards in a way, but there'd be no oysters if it wasn't for aquaculturists right now, because the natural environment that oysters need has been destroyed, whether it be climate change, whether it be over abuse of septic systems, fertilizers, golf courses. Everybody wants green lawns, and everybody wants to live on the water, and everybody wants their fresh seafood when they want it, and they want it now, but they don't do anything to help the environment that all this stuff happens in. So I mean, that's the whole thing about everybody wants everything when they want it. We're very much a now society, but no, oysters would not be growing. We would not be eating oysters in oyster bars if it wasn't for oyster aquaculture, because eelgrass has been decimated by, fertilizers and nitrates and dredging and commercialization and everything else. So without eelgrass, there's nothing to catch the larva. If you don't catch the larva, all the spawns of these oysters and scallops and everything just go out to sea, and they just die off if they can't attach to something. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all aquaculture is not created equal, right? So in general, aquaculture has actually had a lot of negative impacts on the environment, which is, people want to say, they want to paint it with this blanket statement like aquaculture is incredible or aquaculture is terrible, neither of which is true, because, we're farming hundreds of different species, and they each have their different impacts and profiles that go with them. And actually, one of the best things you can do if you're going to farm anything is bivalves, including oysters and or seaweeds and kelps, for a bunch of different reasons. One, cleaning the water and improving water quality. But also, with bivalves and seaweeds, you eliminate a lot of animal welfare concerns. These are not species that are upset about being in one place. They're not upset about being in captivity. They're not even really in captivity, as you've probably seen. They're grown on these lines, and if they wanted to escape, they could.
This is great, but oyster farmers are struggling.
Yeah, you are. I am. All right. You got to be careful right now.
Yeah, it's very shallow.
Low.